Hey, troops, Roy Flake Geeks Adventures, woohoo! Broadcasting from the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. So, not that long ago, literally not that long ago, I did a review of the Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends Silver Centurion Iron Man because there are many of us out there that are huge fans of the armor. Its distinctive look, its incredible story arc in the comics, all those things combined to help it become kind of a big favorite with fans. So you're going, oh God, Roy, did you buy another one? Yeah. And it was interesting too because not long after the release, all of a sudden out of nowhere, the word comes out that, oh yeah, Marvel Select's doing a new Iron Man armor. Oh, okay, cool. Which one? The Silver Centurion Iron Man. So, guess what? Woo! Silver Centurion Iron Man, and you're going, Roy, why do you need a third version of this figure? Honestly, because it's actually a pretty dang cool looking figure. Okay, are we ready? Let's go. And here it is in the package, and you're wondering, Roy, you usually don't show it in the package like that. Well, the main reason is because, well, it looks really, really cool like this. You got the figure itself. In order to do the review, I actually popped everything out before. So when you actually get it from the shop, the head that's on the figure is actually this one, the one with the little camera goggles on, and the normal head is actually set into the plastic packaging. As you can see, there are a ton of accessories. You've got repulsors, you've got extra hands, you've got a jet effect, you got Tony Stark with a mullet. Pulse bolts. You got, oh darn, it fell. You've got the Unibeam energy blast that normally sat here, but since I moved the thing, it dropped somewhere. But yeah, this is the whole thing. So, okay, it's still kind of gaudy packaging because, well, yeah, it's really like unnecessarily thick. But, seriously though, you look at it, there is a ton of stuff in the package. So let's crack this open and see what we got in here. So here is the figure outside of the package. A lot of stuff. It's got the base figure, of course, itself in all of its just beautiful glory. It's a magnificent job. But let's start with the other stuff. We'll build up to that. Yeah, like I said, you get two open palm hands with the little, repulsor spot in the middle. The nice thing too is that these hands, they also have like a little hinge in there so they can move up and down. And from replacing bits and pieces, the little nub here, at least on mine, is it's tight, but it's not hard to pull to exchange hands. So it's not like you're fighting with it or anything like that. So yay! You also get these clutchy hands. You get two heads. There's the mullet. Was not kidding. Yep, this was the 80s, all right. He was sporting the mullet and the porn stash. Woo! Now, and also the other head, now unfortunately this feature only appeared once in the comic, but he was taking photographs of something, so, you couldn't just have a simple, hey, there's this little data reticle thing, blah, blah, blah. No! The forehead opened and this cool goggles popped out. So, yay for unnecessary but cool looking technical hardware. Yeah! Now, let's see here. You got, here are the boot jet effects. Now the weapons. You get two giant repulsor effects. These do pop off. And also have the little swivel on here, so these move very easily. Oh, and also, if you're wondering, your other weapon action figure effects from other Iron Man figures, they sort of kind of fit. If you're willing to, if you've got extra effects and you don't mind kind of doing some kind of modification with a super glue or hot glue to kind of bulk up the little tip here, they will fit and fit really well, actually. So, just something to think about if you're looking for additional effects. There is, of course, the Unibeam. Woo! And last but not least are the Pulse Bolts. Yeah! Woo! And also the same little hinge thingy at the wrist. It comes with a flight stand. Now, this flight stand is incomplete. I could have sworn I had a complete flight stand when I initially opened this up from the box to futz with it. And then I started this review and went, where's the extra? So I'm not going to... I personally wish the flight stand they gave was like the one that's in the War Machine figure, where you plug in the two pieces into a base that looks like a giant jet plume. But considering the other accessories you got, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So unfortunately, I cannot really speak of how effective this is. I'm sorry. But anyway. And finally, the figure itself. And hey, let me put this on the turntable, all right? And here it is in all of its glory, the Silver Centurion. The figure, honestly, the figure is a spot-on representation of the armor in the comic itself. They got everything exactly the way it was in Iron Man 200. I mean, this is one of the fun things about this figure, is that they captured the details exactly. Here is a great example, is that there's this little ridge here on the gauntlet that is not on any of the other, it's a little tiny thing, but it is magnificent to see. The smooth giant jet backpack, which was for stuff in the comic. It literally was a unique, omni-purpose thing. Riders were using it to store stuff. They're using to put power cables in here. I'm amazed he didn't have his lunch shoved in there too. Another thing too is that the shoulder pads. The shoulder pads in the comic were massive, because remember, 80s. Remember, mullet. So you gotta have giant shoulder pads. But yeah, this figure is it's so beautiful. And how massive is it? Now keep in mind, this is Marvel Select. It's not Marvel Legends. So Marvel Select figures tend to be bigger. How big is it? This big. That's the Crimson Dynamo. This is the Ironmonger figure. That's big. Articulation. One more thing too. This has pinless joints. I was kind of dubious about the idea of pinless joints. I'm like, really, guys? Come on. Can we worry about accessories and yada, yada, yada? Then I saw this figure and went, ooh, that is pretty. One of the things you run into for me for figures is that, you got so many joints that things end up looking like Frankenstein almost, with all these cracks and everything, so that you maximize posability. Which is cool, but unfortunately you end up creating this figure that has all this junk everywhere. It's not the case here. That's beautiful. On the other hand, you're wondering, so what's the articulation? Overall, it's good. Problem, though, is that, here's the best example. See? Single joint elbow. That's as far as it's going to go. Ditto with the knees, the single joint knees. Good news is the overall, the overall, the articulation is solid. It's solid. Case in point, the neck area, which created a giant gap in the Walgreen exclusive, it's not here. No. See, it's a cool looking. See, You don't see anything there. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, you got thigh swivel, you got mid thigh cut. I understand for some things having articulated toes is kind of cool, but in general, eh. But overall, I mean, you know, you got that. The nice thing, oh, the giant shoulder pads roll with the shoulder. So I mean, look at that. This goes so well. No, there is no butterfly joint up here, so unfortunately, you know, you're kind of stuck. But like I said, it's not perfect, but it's overall you got a lot of poses to mess with here with this figure. Now you're wondering about the attachments. Like I said, the attachments work well. They pop off easily. So bear with me here as I'm doing a switch here. Off camera. Sorry. You know, these are things that happen in real movies. You know, hurry up, come on. You know, behind the scenes at an award show. Come on, we're still on camera. We're killing time. So here we go. We got pulse bolts on one side. And you got repulsors on the other side. See what I mean? How massive that repulsor is? And, you know, you got that swivel. And, I mean, look at that effect. It looks so cool. And the fact that it's different colors is a nice touch. Oh, and let me get the uni-beam on. Oh, the one thing, you know, more figures that come out with more bells and whistles like this. I believe Japanese figures still do this. If they don't, I wish they'd go back to it. There are directions, and it sounds stupid. You know, what do you need directions for an action figure for? Well, you know, it'd be nice to warn people that the way you put on the effect for the uni-beam is you got to pop this off. It's not a hard thing, but it's nice to kind of know. Or I guess another case in point too is how many joints are on this thing? You know, it would be nice to have something, even just a website that says, hey, you know, articulation here, 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 here. You know, I mean, it's good to be forewarned so that you don't end up wasting a lot of time bending and going, is this supposed to bend? Is this supposed to crack? Well, I guess not. And let me see. Let's put this on. Yeah, see? Oh, cool. Oops. Sorry. Let's try again. Oh my. Oh, there we go. Now I got the peg inside. Now the attachments for these, they're not super tight, but they are definitely tight enough. So come on, come on. There we go. Yeah, see? I mean, it's really, really cool. Now I had someone ask on my last for the Walgreens review, you know, which would I recommend more outright? Because let's compare here to, let's see here. I will hold that till the end. Let me get you a look here how all three of the figures look like together. So we've got you. Let's move this off here for now. There's the Marvel, there's the Select. And here's the Walgreens piece. And here is, and this is the original from way back in the day. And you can see the huge size difference. I mean, the Marvel Select, like I said, Marvel Select figures tend to be larger, and this is significantly larger than the other two. I mean, even like, in the general appearance. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention this. I love the red metallic paint. It's not just plastic. Like here, it's just shiny plastic. This, I've always wondered about the paint. I'm inclined to say that this weirdness with the paint on my figure is just a manufacturing issue with the specific figure. Because actually the rest of it actually does look kind of cool. This dark, almost maroon color from the armor. But yeah, the candy apple red is a really nice touch. The exaggerated shoulder pads, I mean, these are kind of tiny. These are a little bit better, but these are just magnificent. But yeah, I mean, this figure is huge. So yeah, this thing is just wow. It is a large, exceptional figure. So, what's the final call on this? All right. So what's the final word? This is a magnificent piece of work. It's huge. It's well built. It's a beautiful spot-on representation of what's in the original source material. It comes with a ton of accessories that all help to accentuate and I guess that's the other thing too, is that each one of these accessories accentuates what is really in the figure. The pulse bolts, the repulsors, even the little camera doohickey. I mean, these are from the actual comic. So all of this together creates a wonderful piece of work. Is it perfect? No. The articulation is not horrible, but I mean, come on, guys, a little bit more. But all in all, it is a great figure. So, I mean, is it a replacement for the original Marvel Legends? Yes, breaks my heart, but this is my new favorite. It is huge. It has a lot of bells and whistles. It is a wonderful piece of work. The other two are still solid figures. Okay, they are still solid figures. Well worth getting. If you're an Iron Man Silver Centurion fan, they're still well worth holding on to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're a big Silver Centurion fan, you really want to get this, okay? There's so much added stuff that just adds to the whole display. Not that you would ever go pew, pew, pew with your pulse bolts or, go psh, as he's flying with the boot jack. And you know what else is cool? Titanium Man is on the way from Marvel Select. Anyway, y'all have a good weekend. May the force be with you. Oh, actually, availability. That's kind of weird. It appears to be slowly popping up here and there. I'm not too sure if this is an East Coast versus West Coast thing or what. So honestly, check all your sources, your local shops, online retailers, eBay, everybody. I ended up, so keep your eyes open. I believe retail is like $30 on this. Of course, secondary market. Me being an impatient dork, of course, I paid more. But it's on the way. So, if you have patience, unlike me, give it some time. It'll start to crawl. It'll start making its way towards you. If not, be prepared to pony up, okay? But it's precious. It's precious. Anyway, y'all have a good weekend. May the force be with you, especially when you're trying to find this thing. May the odds be in your favor. Again, especially when you're trying to find this. And as always, most importantly, be good to each other, okay, peeps? Peace. Bye.